Hello, welcome back to Sharpen Your Brain with Mental Mathematics Made Simple. This video makes video number 5. And remember, we are still working on tricks in multiplication. We have some few things to look at and then we'll end that of the multiplication and go for addition, subtraction, and division. We want to start this by looking at how to multiply two-digit numbers with the same first digit and the second digit that sum up to 10. What I mean is that if I have maybe 23 times 27, here you can see that the first digit for the two numbers are the same. The second digit add up to 10. And this sort of question is what we are going to see how best we can multiply within some few seconds. Another example is that if I have a number like maybe 84 and I'm multiplying it by 86, here the 8 are the same for the first two numbers, their beginning numbers are the same, and their second digit are they sum up to 10. And so if I say 84 times 86, how can I do this in some few seconds? That is what we want to look at. And to do this, you first have to multiply the 10th digit, that is this one, and one more than the 10th digit. That means you add 1 to this one, which will give you 3, and then you multiply the 3 by the 2. Then you attach the product of the second digit, that is the 3 and then the 7, you multiply them and attach that to the answer. And that becomes your result. And so we'll take an example and see how this works. Let's say I have 42 times 48. The first two numbers, the first digits are the same. Here 42 and 48. So we have 4 here, we have 4 there. But the second digit add up to 10. And any question of this sort or any multiplication of this sort, the trick I'm going to teach you works for this sort of multiplication where the first two digits are the same and the second digit always sum up to 10, exactly 10. So what you do is that you pick the first digit, which is the 4, add 1 to it, which will give you 5. Now multiply that 5 by the 4 itself. And so 5 times 4 will give you 20. And that is the first part of your answer. Again, the 4 that is giving you, the 4 that are repeating, the 4 that is repeating over here, add 1 to that 4 and that will give you 5 and multiply that 5 by the 4. So 4 times 5 is 20. Then the second digit, the 2 here and then the 8 here, multiply them together and attach the answer. So 2 times 8 is 16. I already attach 16 to this and I'll get 2016 as the product of this and that. So that is how this works. Let's take another example. Let's say I have 33 times 37. The first two numbers are the same. The 3 and the 7 add up to 10. So what I'll do is that I'll add 1 to the 3 here, which will give you 4. 4 times the 3 will be 12. You get that? Then 3 here and then the 7 here, we multiply them. 3 times 7, we know 3 times 7 is 21. You attach 21 to this, and that becomes your answer. So 33 times 37 can be done mentally, and the answer will give you 1,221. Another example we'll do. Let's say I have this. I want to bring a little trick here. Let's say I have 21 times 29. Again, you remember that the two numbers are the same. 1 plus 9 will give you 10. Here there's a slight trick. You have to be very careful. If I add 1 to the 2, which will give me 3, and I multiply that 3 by the 2, I know I'm going to get 2 times 3, which is 6. Then I multiply 1 times the 9. And 1 times the 9 will give me 9. It doesn't give me 2 digits. It gives me only 1 digit number. That is 9. And here, because my last answer must be 2 digits, I have to attach 09. Instead of 9, I'll make it 09 to the answer. And so that becomes the result for 21 times 29. So what if I have 82 times 88? Remember that 8 and 8 here are the same, and the 2 plus 8 here add up to 10. And so I'll multiply this 8 by the next higher number, which is 1 plus the 8, which is 9, and 9 times 8. And I believe that is very easy because we've already established how to multiply 9 times a number. And if I say 9 times 8, I'll reduce 8 by 1, which I'll get 7. And then which number plus 7 will give me 9? And that is 2. And so 8 times 9 will give me 72. Then I have my 72 down. Then I multiply the second digit, that is 2 times the 8 here, which will give me 16, and I will attach that to this. And so 82 times 88 will give me 7,216. I think this is very cool, and you can do a lot of examples for yourself. Maybe you can try this and see whether you can get the answer correct. You can pause the video and try the following. Remember, each case we have the first 2 digits the same and the second digit add up to 10. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next we want to look at is multiplying consecutive decade ending in 5. The word sounds so big, right? But it's very easy thing we want to look at. When we have multiplication of 2 numbers and they all ends with 5, but you realize that the first digit, for example this one, and the second digit, the difference is 10. So if you look at the second number here, 25 and 35, difference is 10. 45, 55, difference is 10. 35, 45, difference is 10. Have you seen it? 85, 95, difference is 10. And they all end with 10, but the first digit, the difference is 10. In case of such situation, you can use this trick I'm going to teach you to multiply the 2 numbers. So to do this, you first multiply the small tens digit and the one more than the large tens digit. And you always attach 75 to it. What it means is that if, for example, I'm dealing with this one and this, I'll look at the small 10, which is the 3 here, and multiply it by 1 plus the 4, which is 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. Then I will attach 75, and that is the result. So let's see how it works. I want to use this as an example. 55 times 65. They all end with 5. That's the first and foremost thing. Between the 5 here and then the 6 here, the difference is 10. That is 50 and then 60, so the difference is 10. So if I'm to multiply this is what I will do. I'll pick the small number, which is the 5. Add 1 to this number, which is 1 plus 6 is 7. So I'll do 7 times 5, or 5 times 7. And when I finish, then I'll attach 75 to it. Just simple as that. So 5 times 7 will give me 35. Then automatically attach 75. And that is your answer. Again, I have the 5 here. I'll multiply the 5 by 1 plus this number. And 1 plus this number is 7. So 5 times 7 is 35. Then I will attach 75. And so I will say 55 times 65 is 3,575. Again, let's say I have 45 times 55. 4 times 1 plus the 5 here is 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. Then I will attach 75 to it. And that is the answer. What it means is that any number or any type of multiplication that involves this thing I've told you must always end with 75. That's what it means. And that's how the trick works. Let's try another one. Let's say I have 75 times 85. Can you pause the video and try this on your own? I believe this is the answer you had. You look at the 7 as the smallest number and you add 1 to the big number. And so 8 plus 1 is 9. And so you're going to multiply that 7 times the 9 here. That means we are adding 1 to the 8 here, which is a large number. And so 7 times 9 will give me 81. Oh, sorry. 63 rather. So I will attach 75 to it automatically, and that becomes the answer for 75 times 85 is 6,335. Last one. Let's try the last example and see. Let's say I have 65 times 75. The first two numbers, the last two digits are the same, and between the first and the second, the first two numbers have a difference of 10. That's in terms of their place value. And so first I'll multiply 6 by 7 plus 1 is 8. So 6 times 8. And 6 times 8 will give me 48. And then I will attach 75. Not the 75, but 75, which is automatic for all numbers of this sort. And so that becomes 4,875. You can pause the video and try this. The next thing we want to look at is how to multiply a digit number by a two-digit number. So the general multiplication of one-digit number by a two-digit number. And here, what we want to do is, for example, if I have maybe 25 times one-digit number like maybe 4, and I don't want to use the trick of 4. We know how to multiply a number by 4. Just double the number and double it again. I don't want to go by that trick. I want to have a general one, even though you can use that. But I'm looking at the general multiplication of two-digit number by one-digit number. Now, naturally or traditionally, we are taught in school to do it this way, where we multiply 4 times 5, and that will give us 20. We write 0, then carry 1. 4 times 2, 8 plus 2, making 10. So we get 100. And so 25 times 4 is 100. That is good when you are dealing with pen and paper. But we want to do mental mathematics. We are doing mental mathematics, and we want to do everything in our head. If that is the case, instead of us to go from right to left, we would rather do left to right. We would do left to right. We would rather start multiplying it from the 10th digit then to the digit. So that is what we want to do. So for example, if I have 25 times 4, I'll first say 4 times 2 in my head, which will give me 4 times 2 is 8. And then 8, I will attach 0 to it to make it 80 because it was in the 10th position. And so the 80, then I'll quickly do 5 times 4, that's the 4 times 5 here, which will give me 20. So I'll do the 20 plus the 80, and then I will say the answer 100, which is very, very simple, far better than doing pen and paper work. And so this I will say first 4 times 2, 8. I will attach 0 and call it 80 in my head. Then 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 80 will give me the 100. And so that is what we want to apply in dealing with one-digit number by 2. Okay, another example will help. Let's have another example. Let's say I have 37 times maybe 6. And I want to do this mentally. What I'll do first is multiply the 6 by the 3. And I know that 3 times 6 is 18. And so I will attach 0 to the 18 to call it 180. So in my mind, I'll keep 180. Now the reason why mental mathematics improve your memory is that you need to be keeping numbers in your head whilst you be doing addition and subtraction within or multiplying others. And so when I have the 180 in my mind, I will now quickly multiply the 7 times the 6 again, and that will give me 42. And so I have a multiplication which is now turning into addition. So I'm going to do 180 plus 42 in my head. And I know that 180 plus 42 will give me 222. You see, it's that complicated multiplication of multiply this big number by this can be done in a very simple addition. So I have 180 plus 42, which will give me 222. And so 37 times 6 is 222. Again, if I have, let's say, 74 to multiply by 7, don't quickly go for calculator for this multiplication. If you want to improve your memory, improve your brain, sharpen your brain, then learn the trick and apply it. And the more you do it, the better your brain. You see, and it's difficult when you're doing it from the beginning, but as you keep practicing, remember the word practice, 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 you get over it. And so first of all, I have to multiply 7 times 7. And I know 7 times 7 is 49. And so I'll call it 490. You see, it's very complicated, but when you go by that simple way, you get the answer very easy. So 490 is in my head. Then I quickly multiply 7 times 4. Remember, 4 times a number can just be double the number and double it again. So when I double 7, I get 14. I double 14, I get 28. So the 28 is going to be added to the 49. And I know, 490 rather. So 490 plus 28. 490 plus 28 will give me, remember that it's going to be 500 plus because you're talking about 490. So when you add a 28, you're going to go for 518. So that will be the result. And you see that this number is very complicated to do. 74 times 7 is a very big number. But if you go by the simple trick I've shown you, you see that you can multiply big numbers in a very simple way. Let's try another example. Mostly, it becomes very easy when a number ends with 0. For example, I have 30 times 8. For that one, it's very easy. I'll first do the 8 times 3. And I know 8 times 3 is 24, right? So I'm just going to have the 24 and I'll call it 240. And 240, because 8 times 0 is 0, I'll attach that 0 to the final answer. And so I'll get 240. And so 30 times 8 is 240. And when I get 70 times maybe 6, I'll just do 6 times 7. And I know 6 times 7 is 42. And so I will attach the 0 and call it 420. Those ones are very simple. Okay, so apply this trick and I know you can do a lot of multiplication. Let's try the same trick for 3-digit number by 1 and see. So we first want to look at a number like, let's say I have 120, okay, let's say 125 times maybe 6. 3-digit number times 6. So we go by from left to right instead of from right to left. And so we will start from here. So we just say 6 times 10, or sorry, 6 times 1 is 6. And that will be called 600 because it's in hundreds. So it will be double 0 attached to it. And so I'll keep the 600 in my mind. But for now, let me write it down so that you can understand what I'm trying to do. So I'll keep 600 in my mind. And then I'll multiply 6 times 2, which is 12. And the 12 will give me 120. So quickly, I will add the 120 to 600, and that will give me 720. Okay, so the 720, I still have it in mind. In fact, it's better you do the addition first before you go to the next one. So I've done the first one, I said it is 6, so 600. Second one is 120. 120 plus 600 is 720. Okay, then I go by 6 times 5, which is 30. And then I don't attach any 0. So 30 plus 120, 720 will give me 750. And so I will say that 125 times 6 is equals to 750. I think that's very cool. Let's try another one and see. This time around, maybe I want to have 243 times what, times maybe times 7. Okay, and again I will say 7 times 2, which is 14, so I will say 1400. Remember 1400. Then 7 times 4 is 28, and so I have 280 plus 1400, and so I'll get 1680. So I'll keep 1680 in my mind, 1680. And so when I keep that, then I go 7 times 3, which is 21. I have 1680 plus 21, 1620, so I'll get 1701, right? So you see, it's quite difficult when you are beginning like this, but when you practice and practice, you will overcome it. And the reason why I keep saying the memory is very important, you see, how to remember the number until you get to the final addition is very, very important. So again, I said 7 times 2, I know it's 14, so I'll call it 1400. 7 times 4 is 28, which is 280. So I have 1400 plus 280 will give me 1680. 1680. So if you can remember the 1680 in your mind, that short time, that means you have a very good memory. You see, because I know some people are struggling with memory. They say they are forgotten. Some people want to blame demons and stuff for not understanding or for not remembering whatever they learn. But you can train your memory. You can train your memory, and this is one of the tools you can use to train your memory. And so I have my 1680 plus 21. And know that 680 plus 21 will take me into 100, that is into 700. Then I just have one left, so 1701 becomes my answer. So that is what I have here. When you practice this over and over and over, you will surely overcome mental mathematics. So these are some of the few tricks I have for you for multiplying numbers by other numbers. The next video I want you to watch is how to do simple addition. How to do simple addition. And so there you are going to learn a lot over there. So with this, we come to the end of this part of the video, and also it ends the multiplication deal. Wait and get your addition, and you will really enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your season.